to think about Vietnam. Now, Vietnam is a small country in Southeast Asia, and yet during the 60s it dominated our news bulletins. The Vietnam War was the longest war in which the United States took part. It began truly in 1957 and finally ended in 1975. The United States suffered 58,151 deaths during that conflict between the years of 1964 and 1973. There were 153,303 soldiers registered as wounded, but over 2,400 soldiers are still registered as missing from that time. Following the Geneva Accords, Vietnam was separated into North Vietnam, led by Ho Chi Minh, and South Vietnam, led by Ngo Dinh Diem. North Vietnam was communist, and they wanted to end US support of South Vietnam. North Vietnam wanted to combine the two parts into one country in a communist regime. The United States and the South Vietnamese army tried to stop this from happening and to stop the spread of communism. From 1957 to 1965, the war was mainly a struggle between the South Vietnamese army and the communist-trained Vietnamese rebels known as the Viet Cong. The US at first provided just military advisors. Then the first US troops entered Vietnam in March 1965. The scene you're about to see is a small action that took place in 1968. It was part of what the communists called the Tet Offensive. Tet is the Vietnamese New Year and was supposed to be a ceasefire to honor this prestigious event. However, the communists broke the rules. Even in the parades and festivities in the towns, they were smuggling weaponry in amongst the floats for the parades. They finally attacked installations all over South Vietnam, including the US Embassy in Saigon. In our scene, we're taking you to a small US outpost guarding a road heading to Saigon. The Allied forces are aware there may be attacks, but they have no idea where or exactly when. So the troops are on the alert. Remember, the troops' average age was just 19. Our troops are wary. They know there may be enemies lurking in the bushes, but reasonably relaxed. There's not been battle here for a while. It is, after all, as far as they're concerned, a ceasefire, a time of holiday. Cautiously they are now on the march. Guns at the ready. The vehicle moves slowly forward, the foot soldiers in the rear, always looking left and right. Those in the vanguard checking ahead, those at the rear checking behind them.
Get up the line! Go, go, go! Move, guys!
As the North Vietnamese troops fire from the tree line, the foot soldiers run forwards. At the same time, radio messages are sent back to base for reinforcements to come into the field. As the US troops await reinforcements from the airbase some 3 miles away, away to their left you can see more Viet Cong and Vietnamese forces coming forward with tank armory, weapons in their hands. US troops are now being attacked on 2 flanks, both from the forest, trees and from the paddy fields. The heavy Vietnamese tank moves forward to defend those in the trees. He turns his guns to fire on the American vehicle. Frantically on the ground, the radio operator is calling for reinforcements. If this group is to survive, they need more weaponry, more heavy fire. And there it is, the heavy artillery has made its way to this site of this battle. And as the smoke drifts across us, they're aiming to take out that tank. The tank is damaged, but not fully disabled. It turns to fight again. The machine gunners in the vehicle are working hard. Their bravery is causing the foot soldiers of Viet Cong to withdraw, to go back. But still that tank is in play. And still the troops in the forests are firing on the American servicemen. The group in the paddy fields are running back to regroup, make new plans on their road to Saigon. Those in the trees are holding their line. Our American troops are still in grave danger. And that tank still has them in its sights. The standoff seems to take an eternity. The heavy artillery is reloading. Ready to take its bearings, ready to take aim again. They need to take out that tank and then think about those in the trees later. This time the tank appears to be in greater trouble. It staggers on into the field and the US troops now have a chance to make a tactical withdrawal. They now know that air support is on its way. They need to clear the field so that they are not in danger from their own aircraft. They withdraw. Their hope now is that the aircraft will come in with that deadliest of weapons, that firepower that gives burning, searing heat and will clear the jungle of those hiding there. We're waiting for a napalm strike. And there it goes. With the searing heat of the napalm that sticks to skin and blisters and strips you down to the bones, the Viet Cong in the trees withdraw. Those surviving will regroup later and continue the march into Saigon. Five years later, troops began to be withdrawn from Vietnam. In January 1973, a ceasefire was arranged, and the last US ground troops left Vietnam 2 months later. Fighting did resume, but the US troops did not return, and the war officially ended on April the 30th, 1975, when South Vietnam surrendered to the Communist forces of North Vietnam. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our battle scene for today. Thank you very much. Can I ask a round of applause for all of our reenactors, for our fire master, and everybody out in the field. Thank you very much.